Hello and welcome to Mishlei, the very last class of this series before we change the format a little bit. We're finishing the third verse. And thank God we got Loretta One-R here to finish the class. So she's been diligent to sit through the entire series this far. So might as well talk to you. Everybody else is here to pay attention to the end. You missed the whole series, but I encourage you to stay on board and try to follow along. I think you can get it. Okay, we went over everything that you see in the picture, and we said that, everybody see that word wise in the picture? Does everybody see that word wise in the picture? We said wise can be its own word. It can go with the word accept, and it can go with the word discipline. So to accept wise, discipline. To accept wise, discipline. To accept wise, discipline. Type 1 if you just heard all three connotations in my voice. Type 2 if you didn't. All right. Now, we already did righteousness, justice, and equity. We put it all together. The only word left is the word to, T-O. Interesting word, isn't it? Now, we have to say that to can only be accept, to accept, or to accept wise. We have to find out what does the word to mean. Now let's just meditate for a second and figure out how it goes. Ready? So this is the way the language works. To accept. The word in Hebrew is lakachat. It's the reason why there's I forget the word that you call, I guess, a prefix. Why do we, in Hebrew it's a prefix. Here it's what it's called what do you call that thing in English again? What do you call that in English? Preposition. Preposition in Hebrew it's a prefix. Prefix is lamed. Here it's preposition. Why is the Hebrew demean a prefix? To accept. To accept wise discipline. So imagine it just says accept wise discipline, righteousness, justice, and equity. So there's Loretta, this should get you excited. Remember how we said that there's a high concept and a low concept, everything? Right? There's righteous statutes and not righteous statutes. If I said, Jacques, I need you to be here in class by 9 o'clock sharp. And you say, okay. Now, maybe I'm just a militant guy. Type 1, Jacques. I want you here by 9 o'clock, 9:01, I'm kicking you out. Then you say, I heard you spoke Lashon Hara about me. And you said, man, Rabbi Katz is pretty hard. He said he's going to kick me out if I'm not there by 9 o'clock. Type 1. I say, Jacques, I'm glad you're speaking good Lashon Hara about me. It has nothing to do with me being a jerk. In Torah, when you're a minute late, you're chayav misa, and I'd hate to see you be put to death over this. I'm doing you a favor. You say, wow, I didn't know the Torah was that serious. Man, a minute late, they put you to death over there. All right, Rabbi Katz, I take back the Lashon Hara. I will be here by 9 o'clock sharp. Type 1, Jacques. So there's a low-level righteousness, which you thought I was doing, and then there's a righteousness, which you found out I was doing. Now, this is a ridiculous analogy, but you can imagine how it could come to fruition, correct? You can imagine how some people are actually low, and some people are actually high. And you can see how they can be confused in the process. Sounds very much like Lafif Shuto, doesn't it? Very much like Lafif Shuto. Okay, here we go. So we want to know to accept. And I was saying there's something called accepting and to accepting. To accept. To accept. You hear the difference? Can you guys all hear the difference? You got to really soften your mind on this. There's something called accept and to accept. I'll give you an analogy. James Rogers. Let's pretend that I work at a train station and you are a passenger buying a ticket for the train, type 1. And I say, where are you going, sir? Type your answer, James. Where are you going? Okay, he's going Israel. Now, what if I said, where are you going to? Where are you going to? Do you hear the slight difference of connotation? Where are you going is like an open-ended question, like, hey, I don't know, where are you going? But where are you going to? It's very tight. 3rd Avenue and Main Street, I believe. You see? The word to made it very focused and destination-oriented. Where are you going is kind of an existential question. Does everybody see that? If I just say, where are you going, it's kind of a mystical idea. I don't mean Kabbalah. I'm saying it's like, wow, where are you going? And I say, where are you going to? Now I'm working. I got a little funny hat and a vest and a clipboard, and I'm taking $5 from you, and I'm giving you a ticket, and you better sit down and buckle up and not give me any problems. Everybody, you type 1 or 2 here. What are you guys typing, 1 or 2? All right. So the question becomes, now that we got the logic, all right, James will see it. Now that we got the logic, let's find out what the word means. Let's find out what the word to means. Everyone click the link. Everyone click the link. Used to indicate the place, person, or thing that someone or something moves toward. Loretta, if you're not excited about this also, then I don't know what to tell you. What do you think about what I just said? Is this amazing or what? Remember Merv. Think about Merv. You're on your way to see Merv. Look at this. Used to indicate the place, person, or thing that someone or something moves toward. Is that not Merv? We have this analogy that Loretta and I are using. It's a rainy day. Everyone follow the analogy. It's a rainy day. And you got to go to the grocery store. You're tired. You're cranky. You're not in the mood, are you? Type 1. You're not in the mood. None of you are in the mood. Type 1. You're not in the mood. And you're broke as a joke. And you got to go to the bank to get money. You're really not in the mood. Oh, are you not in the mood? You are so not in the mood. And you have 2 choices. You can go to the bank like Moron Man, and you're asking for trouble. Or you can know what you're getting into. Notice that I use that word too. There's your mazel. So you either have in mind, I'm going to the bank. I am going to the bank. Which means you stop, frame your mind. Everyone close your eyes. And meditate. You're tired, you're miserable, you're cranky, it's raining. And you're going to, focus on the word to the bank. There's the security guard there, the old guy named Merv. He's hard of hearing, he's got a gun, he's rude. And you focus and say, we got to deal with challenges at the bank. We just got challenges. There's going to be a long line. It's hot in there. Nowhere to sit down. I.e., are you walking in blind and like Moron Man? Or are you walking in alert and aware and prepared? Does anybody want to know the secret of how to change reality? Type 1 if you want the secret of how to change reality. It's called kavana, intention. How do you change reality? By simply having mind. That's it. Anything you do with motive, it is transformed into craftsmanship quality every time. Now, you might not be a master craftsman, but there's a big difference between craftsman and sloppy. It is just a simple awareness of motive will change the experience. Can you see it? That's all we're saying is don't be blind to reality. Just have a simple motive. And you don't have to know what the motive is. Just have motive. It's called, okay, stop, focus, going to the bank. All right, yeah, we got Merv. I'm going to have to find a place. And you walk in, alert. I never said you're going to be happy. I never said it's going to be easy. I never said anything. You're not going to see angels with a harp. But I'll tell you what you will see. You will not be sloppy. You will not be the dodgiest one in the room. And you'll be conscious and alert to navigate whatever God throws you in that room. Type 1. Now, once you have that going for you, you have free will. You've given your inch, and if you want to be enlightened like King Solomon, that's your choice now. Type 1, if you believe the choice to be wise is yours, if you come in not as moron man. Type 1. Now type 1, if you believe without being alert and aware, if you are destined for moron man. Thereby, excluded from you the ability of wisdom. See the difference? Moron man will not be wise. Alert and aware has the ability to become wise. Big difference. Big difference. You want to know what Ger is? Ger is saying, I'm alert and I'm aware just by having looked up a word in the Tanakh. That's all. That's all it is. It's an easy way to say, I'm sorry, but by definition, I'm not being a moron man. I looked it up. I don't know the full extent of Ger. I'm not a prophet. I'm not Moses. But I do know that I want wisdom, and I can now prepare myself to walk to wisdom simply by having rejected moron man, which is a claim Ger's convert because hypnosis said so. Can you follow my thinking? If you tell me Ger's convert, what you're saying is be hypnotized, stay asleep, wisdom is not for you. If you get Ger, and I'll say that get Ger, it means I've looked it up sufficiently that I'm prepared to receive wisdom as per my choices that I make from this point forward. Type 1. 100%. And you'll slip up. You're not going to learn everything. But the more you embrace Ger mentality, you understand that everything can be looked up. Everything can be plumbed to the source if it's Lafib Shuto or reality. But if you want McDonald's, Edo, then you say, just tell me what it is, I will comply, I won't cause you problems. And if Merv attacks you, you'll say, thank you, Merv, I wanted to be attacked today. If you want to live like that, then you're in the wrong camp. It's just the wrong place. If you want to be abused wherever you go and walk through life as a zombie, there are people that want that. Mazel tov, McDonald's has its doors open to you. If you want to have the ability to grow wise, you start to have awareness and alert, have simple mind of what you're doing. Simple mind. Look it up, open your eyes, focus, regroup, not be manipulated into whatever it is. Just be aware. We're not talking about being abrasive. If you tell me I have to sit over there, okay, I'll sit over there, but I'll sit over there with my eyes open and alert and aware. I'm not a sheep. Used to indicate the place where someone participates in a particular activity. Loretta, are you going to accept wise discipline? Do you see it? To accept. To is a code word. Can you all envision the word to as a code word? Jacques, you saw my class at the wall last night. Is that correct? And how do we answer the oath that a navon takes care of the oath? If I say, Jacques, I don't ever want to eat your bread again. Go away from me. What did I really mean, Jacques? When I said, Jacques, I don't ever want to eat your bread again. Go away from me. What did I really mean? Exactly. So when we say the word to, what we're saying is to is a very short way of saying the following. Used to indicate the place, person, or thing that someone or something moves toward. Used to indicate the place where someone participates in a particular activity. Used to indicate the direction of something. Can you clap? Here we go. Everybody, we're gonna do a game. Okay? I want you to meditate and envision what I'm about to tell you. Here we go. All right, imagine Rabbi David Katz is sitting in your kitchen. Type 1. Everyone has met me in this room. Therefore, you can all say, put me in your kitchen, okay? Now, I want you to leave your house, go out of your house, and come back in and listen to my words. Go to your kitchen. Can you envision it now? Rabbi Katz is in your kitchen. You're going to your kitchen. That means you should be mindful of the place, the person, the thing, someone is moving toward, particular activity, indicate direction. Can you imagine now all the different thoughts from the new factor in your path of what it means of the focus and aware and alert? I am going to Rabbi Katz in my kitchen. Can you envision that? 1 or 2? Was it different than if I was not in your kitchen? Take me out of your kitchen and go back to your kitchen. Was it not radically different with me gone? Thereby, if your spouses called you saying, beware, Rabbi Katz is in the kitchen waiting for you when you come home, can you now have consciousness of the word to? Yes or no? 1 or 2? Now, isn't everything in life Rabbi Katz in your kitchen? Isn't everything that? Imagine this setting. You're going to be late. All of you are late. You're late. You have to take a shower. Okay? You're late and you're dirty. You have to go to take a shower and get dressed and go. Okay? Simple life pressure. You have to go you get to take a shower and get dressed and go. Can you see the word to? Can you see it? Can you focus and get your mind around that? As opposed to removing the word to? Just kind of like a sloth and moron man and blind? Or can you imagine the focus? I'm going to the shower. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to the car. I'm driving to the place. Boom, boom, boom. Was it a qualitative difference for you at each step? One or two? I am going to bed. I am going to the store. I am going to accept my fate of payday. I am going to buy a shirt. I am going to the gas station. I am going to dinner. I am going to the computer. I am going home, to the home. I am going to drive. Do you see it? And you see the opposite when you remove the word to. So now it's raining and you're tired and cranky. and you have to get money from the bank. Don't you think it's to your best advantage to go to the bank, or just, me, and then you stumble into Merv, and you're wondering why you got surprised on an ambush? Do you see the difference? Now the definitions. Used as a function word to indicate movement or an action or condition suggestive of movement toward a place, person, or thing reached. Loretta, haven't we been talking about the word to for the last 6 months, if I'm not mistaken? Isn't the analogy of Merv and the bank and Moron Man and buying your favorite shampoo and all of these little games of driving school that I give, can't we just cut to the chase and get rid of righteousness and justice and equity and discipline and wise and accept? Couldn't we just call the entire thing to consciousness? T-O-consciousness, to consciousness. That's the power of Torah. The word to is an entire Torah, world, wisdom that contains the entire Torah. That's called the Torah of Shem. The Torah of Shem, or here, listen to this, Jacques. The Lafi Pshuto is when we say, accept wise discipline, righteousness, justice, and equity, type 1. The Torah of Shem is when we just say the word to. You got that? The Torah of Shem is that nugget that drops down so silently. Nobody thought. So, how many people in the history of English language do you think would read this verse and put the entire emphasis on the word to and mean it? The chiddush is you can. All you have to do is look at how we've been defining the verse without any knowledge of what the word to means. And now that we've come to the word to in meaning, lo and behold, the meaning of the word to is what I've been drilling into Loretta for the last 6 months. Loretta's at a 1 or a 2. It's fantastic. That's Torah. Torah of Shem consciousness. Or Jacques, you might call it the Iker. The Iker term here. Loretta, what's the Iker term? Everybody, what's the Iker term? What's the Iker term? What's the Iker term? Yes, to. To. To is the Iker term. The Iker term is the Torah of Shem. It tells you everything. By the way, ger is an Iker term. Used as a function word to indicate direction. Used as a function word. Jacques, have you paid attention of how I translate the word Iker? Have you ever seen how I translate the word Iker when I do my translations? Here's a little hint. It starts with an F and it sounds like unction. Function. Function in Hebrew is Iker. So in the English, they have Iker also, because all language works the same. So when you see the word to, used as a function, used as a function, used as a function, used as a function, used as a function to indicate purpose, intention, tendency, result, or end, or aid. Used as a function word to indicate the result of an action or process. Used as a function word to indicate position or relation in time. Before 5 minutes to 5, till, from 5 to 5. Used as a function word to indicate addition, attachment, connection, belonging, possession, accompaniment, or response. Used as a function word to indicate the extent or degree. Used as a function word. Do you got this? Get the word to is Iker. Loretta, what's the definition of our verse? The entire story with Merv and the bank and Moramin and the fog. It's one big thing. What's it called? An Iker. An Iker. What is King Solomon's wisdom building up to? The words that you see are not in front of you. Those are not words. They blend into a picture called Iker. Going to the bank to embrace Merv is simply an Iker. It's simply a function. When you chop the function, you are being the function. All you are is two. What are you doing, Loretta? I'm going to the bank. What are you doing, Loretta? I'm going to the store. What are you doing, Loretta? Because you're aware. If you're not aware, what are you doing, Loretta? I don't know. What are you doing, Jock? I don't know. What are you doing, Patty? I don't know. But when you're the Iker, what are you doing, Jock? I'm going here. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I came from there. I'm about to do that. Totally different story. And now we'll do the etymology, and then we're going to finish with the Gra. Pretty fantastic. Is that not some amazing, profound stuff? I mean, man, that is something. Really something. Who knew it comes out that divine? You couldn't have planned this or made this up if you tried. I mean, seriously, Loretta, could you have really anticipated the definition of the word two would be the encapsulation of everything we've been saying for 6 months? That is an absurd proclamation. Jacques, is that not absurd? Imagine you told people how we learned an entire thing about the word two. Nobody would believe that. Nobody. There it is. Black and white. Black and white. Here we go. Etymology, the word two. Two. In the direction of. For the purpose of. Jacques, how would you translate for the purpose of in Hebrew? Would you call that kavana? Jacques, would you call that kavana? So the word two is kavana. And kavana, by definition, is an ikr. When you have kavana in prayer, what you're doing is you're chopping and hitting the ikr. To, toward, upward. Till. And that's it. I'm going to step out for 1 second, and we're going to do the Vilna Gaon, and we'll call it a wrap. 1 second. Okay, Vilna Gaon on our verse. Let's go. If we're right, it should match up. Here we go. And we successfully will have made it through 3 verses in Mishlei over the course of a little over a year. How many times have you ever heard that in your life? 3 verses in over about a year and a half. What do you think about that? Okay. I'm going to say in Hebrew. I just want to see what it says, and I'll try to explain as I go. Lakachat, which is to accept. Hatachlis lakachat musar haskil. He's saying that the goal of everything is the verse you're looking at, which means, so what does it mean, the purpose, Jacques? What do you mean the purpose and the goal? Success. How do you know if you're success? Yeah, the whole Mishlei is called success. And David, Vayihi, David, Lakol, Darko, Maskil. This was David. David was the Iker. David was the word two. Okay, that's what the Gra says. David was this. This was King David. Muasha Amar Lamaila Ladas Chochma. Acher Kak Musar. Vekam Musar Levad. You cannot begin to master this without wisdom. Even though the musr of preparing for Merv is the success you are after, like David, you must have wisdom behind you. With wisdom, you can then get Merv. Aval le'inyan ha'asiyah ha'ikr hu musr. There's the word ikr. Guess what we found, boys and girls? Ikr. He says, but the inyan, the real subject matter of Merv in the bank, that's called the world of Asiyah, type 1. And that is the ikr of Musr. The bank with Merv is your reality. That is nothing other than God functioning to you an opportunity of Musr. So, Jacques, why did you have to go to the bank and visit Merv? Because you were born into Asiyah to do Musr, and in your spare time, God commanded you with Torah that you should have wisdom. Musr is changing your ways from godly initiation. Meaning God initiates you so that you should better yourself and improve your ways. Tzedek. Klaimer zehu musr haskil shetzoya adam lakacha. Shiye bo klulim kol amidus. Exactly as we said, Loretta 1R. We want you to beat tzedek with Merv, and it's got to be all your training. That you got to just do it because you do the musr by yourself. You got the message. You got to just rise by yourself to the occasion. Tzedek v'asod chesed tzedakah in kol habrius. You have to be kind and righteous female in the female tense tzedakah, tzedek, with all of creation Merv. Loretta, is that what we taught? That is on you in your best interest to out-kind Merv with the female kind of understanding righteousness in order to be successful in Musr. Kishiyelech b'derech zo levad, ein ze Musr haskil, ki lo yatzliach, shelafami, sarich ha'adam midas kas. So, Loretta, he's saying, if we don't apply the wisdom of Merv, and we say that you should be moron man but kind to Merv, is that good or bad? You're supposed to just be kind to Merv because he has a gun. Bad. Why? Because sometimes you need to be angry. If we said you have to be angry at Merv if he insults you, but we said don't try to kill Merv, just outmaneuver him. That's called mishpat, which is the word justice, as opposed to righteousness. Hainu beino lebein atzmo. We might have to get a little rough with Merv, but that's not counterproductive. Sometimes, if Merv's going to get a little feisty with you, you get a little feisty with Merv. That doesn't mean kill Merv and try to bring him down. It just means you're not a nebuch. Don't be manhandled by Merv. Why? Because you're not moron man. You are alert and aware. Yes, Merv, thank you. I do know where to sit down. Now, please step aside. And you're not going after just what tickles your fancy. Why do we need anger, Loretta? To give din to the wicked. Le'ish kedarko kefia din, as a man in his way according to the din. Merv, you want to get tough? I'm tough too. I don't have to be kind out of false kindness, because I have wisdom that tells me when and how to be kind. The chen meisharim, the word equity. Shilafamim sarich lamidas hayoisher, v'zeu al pi rov. Sometimes you got to be not just stupid kind and not stupid harsh, to speak in Lafib Shuto, Jacques, but you should really be equitable. All right, at the end of the day, you're good with Merv, you're bad with Merv. Do you have a reason to be biased at Merv? No. Even though he might be this or that, you are not justified to be biased with Merv. I don't have to listen to you, Merv, because you're not as smart as me. Therefore, Musar Haskell Einu Rak Im Yeh Klum Ekol Shleishano Va'az Yatzliah Bekol Darkav. Equity says, Loretta, you got to know when to be kind. You got to know when to not be kind. You got to know when to be wise kind. You got to know when to be not wise kind. Da-da-da-da-da. Yes, called equity. So the success is equity. So therefore, we're seeing to accept wise discipline. It's all about that. Righteousness and justice are at your disposal. And ultimately, the product, the tachlis, the goal, the accomplishment, you should be an equitable person. And these are the four things. Tzedek, righteousness. Mishpat, justice. Meisharim, equity. Kol ma'agel tov. Everything's got to end up good. He says, what is this thing? Kol ma'agel tov. Ze hatochacha. This is called rebuke. And it's neged musar haskell. That there's something called rebuke. And there's something called the intelligent musar. So, Loretta, is Merv giving you musar from God? Type 1, yes. Type 1, yes. And you're supposed to be equitable, correct? Type 1, yes. Now, how does that equate? You have the right to give rebuke to Merv. Lady, go sit down in your seat. What do you say back, Loretta? Lady, go sit down in your seat. I'm Merv. What do you say back? You say back, is that how you talk to a woman, Merv? You should know better. Work on it. You go, you do what you got to do. Merv got the lesson. You're not to be manhandled by Merv. Merv learned his lesson. You weren't out to kill Merv. It was equitable. Do you see that? Merv stepped out of line like the snake, the Nachash, and you said very clearly, that's not how you treat me. I was standing my ground, and I'm still equitable. Loretta, you got a 1 or 2 there. Vehu negi musar haskell v'heim gam kein oisin shekasu v'shafa tzedek dalim v'hochiach v'mishor la'anvei aretz. Nira le'inias dasi perish shel dalim she'oisin shehein dalim adayin shehalchu acher midas raus acher taibis o acher kas o lehem refuason she'ilef behifcho k'moshe kasu v'ram v'hilchas deis. All right, that's the end. This is just a little addition here. He's saying that poor people are generally, like really poor people, spiritually or whatever, they generally tend to go after improper ways. We can have that little analogy with Merv. Therefore, Shafit b'tzedek dalim v'hochiach b'mishor la'anvei aretz. There's a reason to judge righteously with the poor and to reprove with equity the poor of the earth. Again, is that not the perfect way to end it? He's saying there's high poor and low poor. There's high rebuke and low rebuke. There's high equity and low equity. And ladies and gentlemen, I conclude the verse 3, the commentary of the Gaon, and we have finished the course over almost 2 years. If you're here tonight, if you're listening to this recording later, mazel tov to you. We've done it. And I hope you guys got out of this as much as I have. It's been an amazing run. We're going to still continue Mishlei, but in a lesser capacity. And the new series is going to be the art of Jewish prayer. And we're going to always add an addition from Mishlei at the end of every class to keep it going, because God forbid that we or the rest of the world should ever stop learning the true wisdom of King Solomon, the wisdom of King David, as the first verse of Mishlei attests to. Thank you, and see you in Texas.